Okay. Let me check. We should be live. I cannot see. Just need to see if we are live on Twitch because I started the streaming.
I could ask my friends on Discord to check it.
Okay, live now. Yes, we should be live. Okay, just if someone is watching, just can confirm on the chat if everything is okay. We had some issues with the audio. So basically I called Salvatore on the phone and put the phone on the microphone.
Yeah,
So
this morning seems like gods are against us for some reason. I mean, I understand them because, yeah.
It's easy to be mad on us.
Yeah, our relationship between, us and
Okay.
gods, it's not the best, let's say that.
Okay. I will just wait a few moments just to see if someone in the chat can confirm. Okay, morning, Alex. Alex, you are there. Can you confirm you listen both me and Salvatore?
Alex, please. Confirm.
Confirm. Alex is died. Okay.
I wrote on.
Confirmed. Okay. I don't guarantee the quality for the Salvatore audio because it's, again, I repeat, it's in call with my phone. So I had some issue with basically every sort of browser and communication app we used. We tried Hangout, we tried, no, maybe only Skype we didn't try, but we decided to go with the phone. Sound, it's okay. Okay, cool. It's not my audio, it's the Salvatore one. So when he starts speaking and answer the question, maybe I will try to make less noise possible so you guys can hear him well. But okay, it is what it is.
Yeah, maybe it's for good, you know. My just want to avoid people my bad English accent.
It's actually nice because in the live there is the gift of Snake talking through the codec. So
Okay. I didn't know the snake was, come from Naples. So.
okay, maybe Salvatore. I will try. I cannot raise anything because again I am from my phone, and the phone is basically 1 centimeter to the microphone. So
Yeah,
I will
should
I will
fix my
quick
voice.
show you.
I
This
could
is
fix my
cyberpunk. Salvatore, if you can see the live.
Yes, amazing.
So, Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a leak actually. It's a leak from the main game. Yeah. I could scream. I don't know if you guys can bear my voice, my screaming voice, but yeah.
I will start with the question, and then if there is any problem to hear you, I don't know.
Yes.
We will try to fix. So,
Okay.
what a great start. So basically,
Yeah.
the first question with my guest is always about their origins. So once again, I will ask you to tell us about the way you started and discovered yourself a creative and then a modeler. So And also, more important, who you are.
Actually, the second part of the question, I'm seeing a therapist for about a year to discover who I am, so I really cannot say that right away. No, Salvatore Fiore, uh, come from a small town near Naples, in the south of Italy, and now I'm currently working and living in Berlin for the Berlin division of Toadman Interactive, which is a Swedish game company based in Stockholm, and I'm working there since 2 year and a half or something. And before that, I had a lot of experience, a lot of studios, freelancing, and I had the pleasure to work with you, Mr. Carmine. Yeah, actually, it was one of my greatest pleasure working with you, knowing you,
Oh.
actually. Yeah, when I discovered, yeah, let's say that it's always been there, but the point is that uh, I didn't start drawing because I was, you know, I want to express myself. Of course, yeah, I was, but main point is that I started to draw and then model and write or things like that, just because I want to join the video game industry. It was just a little boy that didn't care actually to express himself, but the main point was, oh, I want to create video games, and that's why now I became an artist, a 3D artist, and after my uh, when I discovered 3D modeling, and I discovered that you had to specialize in something. I for some reason I just said to myself, maybe characters is the way to go, because when I started, there was no such a difference. There's no something like a character artist, environment artist. There was just 3D artists, 2D artists, and animators. So it was a little bit tricky at the very beginning, but as soon as the industry went bigger and bigger, and production needed very specialized people, I said to myself, okay, maybe characters is my truly, my truly will, my truly, I don't know how to say. And I started to draw when I was really, 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 I was like 5 or 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But but I was like replicating what I saw in the arcade,
Yeah.
Street Fighter characters, Neo Geo characters. And from, it was a long time ago, and so I could say that I spent my entire life dreaming about doing video games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like I mean, I had the same type of um, origin. I will say I
It's a
start.
common ground for a lot of people.
Yeah, I started drawing because I was kind trying to repeat on paper the character from Street Fighter 2 as well. So
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted the characters to stay with me at home because at the time in the early 90s the only way you had to play video games was in the um, I don't know in English how to say, but the place where the machines were, so the
Yeah, the
playroom,
arcades.
yeah, the arcades
The
basically.
arcades.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So for that reason, I tried to start and replicate the character I loved from the video games as well. But I never knew that someone was actually doing this for work. I discovered really, really late, in around my probably 15, 17,
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
this.
that was the same for me. Even because at the time there was no, I mean, of course there was internet, but was not, well populated as nowadays. So
Yeah.
there was no information, and maybe all the info that we used to have came from, I don't know, what's called the video games press, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to buy a magazine just to
Yeah.
know that maybe there's this 3D course or this drawing course, and I had to admit that for I don't know how I would say before discovering that joining the game industry was a real thing.
Yes.
I used to have a really big passion. I still have a big passion for drawing and manga.
Yeah.
So I used to dream, I dreamed about becoming a comic book artist, but as soon as I discovered that, you can apply and become a game artist, I was okay.
Yeah.
Ship it, do it.
Yeah. No.
I thought even to join at the university, to join some programming class, because I thought that to become a game developer, you had to do pretty much everything, but no.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's not like this anymore.
Yeah. No. No. Yeah. I think also it's because the lack of information we had in Italy about the system, and this basically drive people until maybe 10 years ago to really don't know the type of work there is behind video games or an animation movie. So yeah, probably it's also because of this kind of mysterious.
I think it's the lack of industry in Italy, because
Also,
we don't have a real industry, real game industry, so people didn't know about the real industry in the north of Europe, or I would say USA, not to mention Japan, of course.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, exactly.
it was really, really tricky, let's say that. But somehow we
So
managed to do it.
yeah, somehow we are still
Somehow.
doing.
And actually, to be honest, I address myself as a lucky boy. Really lucky.
Lucky boy, lucky boy.
Lucky boy, yeah. No, I feel lucky, actually. Because when we were a large group of people, friends, but most of them, and somehow, and I know the reason, somehow most of them, they just give up during the process to become a game artist,
Yeah,
become a game, or become just a game dev,
yeah,
because it's tough. It's really tough. It's a very competitive field. Seems like that nowadays everyone wants to be a game artist or a game programmer, and the industry is kind of, I would say, I don't know. I just try to be polite about the industry, but the industry is not. It's a little bit toxic, maybe.
not even the second question, and we are already talking trash about the industry.
Some good stuff about being part of this industry.
Yeah,
about making video games, and
Yeah.
you thought about, oh, we are just a bunch of guys in a small room with computers and monitors and pizza and booze and getting high all the time, and it's very funny. It's not. It's a fucking war. It's a fucking. I mean, it's tough. It's really tough
It's
for so many reasons.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and also, I mean, I have some question about the industry, so be prepared. And I just
I mean,
I just want to ensure maybe new people that are listen to us that like in every field, in every industry, there is the good side and there is also the bad side. Just
yes.
because everything is made of people and people sucks or people are good.
Yes, yes, yes. I totally agree.
Okay, I will step in the next question because it's something that it's more related to what you do. And exactly, as the name said, you are senior character artist at Toad Interactive. What exactly is a senior character artist? What do you do as a routine, and what's your basically standard assets to do? What's your day routine basically?
Yeah. Okay. It's yeah. I mean, at first sight is a simple question, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Because being a senior is not always the same. It's not like every company the senior has the same, weight to
Yeah.
say and does the same things. No. But for example, here a senior character artist needs to provide basically a character from start to finish,
Mm-hmm.
and also implement the what you do in the engine. So
Okay.
to be, uh, you know, the character is done. It's really done.
Yeah.
I could say to my producer, "Oh, I'm done. I just want to jump on the next task." If the character or the prompts or whatever, it's in game and it's fully functional.
Okay.
So, I mean, now most of the time it's just, I would say, reskinning characters, because of course we have base character base meshes where we start from, and which are already rigged, so they have boats inside, so we don't need to do the process again and again and again. And basically what I'm doing now is just making, let's say, armors
Mm-hmm.
or clothes, hats, and stuff like this. And of course I'm responsible to skinning the character, so just someone, I don't know, I'm using very not technical words, because I think that the channel is gonna be seen by a lot of people which are not familiar maybe with the
Yeah. You're right.
3D art. Yeah. So someone puts the bone inside the character, and I'm responsible to say, oh, this part of the arm is going to be animated by this bone. This is
Okay.
the skinning process, and I had to deal with the engine. So I need to export for the engine with all the animations, and of course, this is one of the things that it's kind of different between games and animation and VFX industry.
Yeah.
Usually in the animation and VFX, a character modeler just models characters, as
Okay.
the word says. You're responsible for the design sculpt.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm not sure, because it depends on the pipeline. You need to do you need to adjust the topology of your character, but it's not mandatory in the animation
Okay.
because someone could do for you. And but now in the game industry, you're a character artist, so you're responsible of design stuff, so doing the high poly, the low poly, so the topo process,
Yeah.
textures and materials. And as I told you here, I'm responsible of implementing stuff as well.
Yeah. We could also say that one of the difference is that in animation, the rig part of a character, it's basically functional to something is, we could say, scripted. So the animators are going to do specific action based on the script, while in the video games it's the player that is actually moving also, not only the cinematic, so the movements needs to follow also the input from the player. So,
Exactly, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, in fact, I'm really glad that now a lot of animation courses are pointing, are becoming more specialized for the game industry, because as an animator, I'm not an animator, of course, but I deal with animator all the time, and as an animator, for video games, in the video games field, you are responsible of a lot of stuff, and also you need to export stuff for an engine, so it needs to work. And as you said, you have input, you have this thing called I don't know, state machine, where you basically say to your character which input correspond to which animation,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
with which I don't know, maybe delay, speed. It's not. It's a little bit complicated. Let's say that it's complicated.
Yeah, no, yeah. So it's not only like moving a character for making his routine or his acting, but it's also like permit the players to move around the map
Yes.
or shoot or whatever you have to do. Yeah, exactly. So perfect.
Yeah.
That's a fundamental difference between working in animation and working in video games. That there is always the player side of the acting. So okay, yes. I will jump to the next question because it's basically one of the must in any podcast with artists. And it's basically centered to the young people. As we said before, it's not always usual that young people know all the different shades that the industry in animation and video games are basically built. So what I'm going to ask you is, what's your advices for someone really young that is approaching maybe the first time with a copy of ZBrush and is starting doing his first spheres and stuff? So what do you recommend to do to become better, stronger?
Okay. Tough question, maybe. I mean, the point is that when people ask me this kind of question, in my mind, it's more like, are you referring to young people based in Italy or young
All
people
over the
based
world.
in
All over the world.
all over the world? Okay.
I mean, young people from USA maybe can have a better understanding just because they live this reality from much longer. Hmm.
That's true. That's actually true. Well, I would say maybe take a class of 3D art in general.
Hmm.
If you want to become a 3D artist, if you don't know what you want to become, I mean, it's something else. But I think that the question is more focused on if you want to become an artist, right?
Yeah, in particular, maybe with a focus on the 3D, because there is always a moment in a young artist where you became fascinated by 2D or you became fascinated by 3D. So let's say that you already discovered that you want to do at least 3D.
Okay. Yeah. Let's say the polite Salvatore will say, yeah, attend a 3D class, a general 3D class, just to understand, uh, you know, how 3D works. The
Yes.
basics,
Yeah.
the various, disciplines that 3D is composed.
Yeah.
Because maybe at a certain point you just realize that, oh, I really love animation, or oh, I really love rigging, or oh, I really love lighting.
Okay.
But the, let's say sarcastic, no, let's say the I don't know, rough Salvatore would say attend. Can I say bad words?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Attend a fucking drawing lesson,
Okay.
a drawing class,
Yeah.
because you need to understand some stuff that's behind a monitor you never understand. You can become a good character artist, of course. I know a lot of people that they never even try to draw something, and they're very good character artists, very good prop artists.
Yeah.
But in my humble opinion, if you start with, drawing and see proportion
Mm-hmm.
and kind of learn how to see stuff.
Yeah.
I was speaking about this yesterday. I was doing a live with some people from the Discord,
Mm-hmm.
and at a certain point the anatomy stuff came on the table.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's of course if you study medicine and you try to learn all the muscle, even the internal muscle, doesn't mean that you become a better artist. Otherwise, all the doctors would have been the best artist ever.
Yeah.
Which is not the case. But if you learn anatomy, and you learn it properly, you become I would say more self-aware man and artist, of course.
Yeah.
So some very basic stuff, like drawing, shape, color, composition. If you start with this kind of things, which are, in my opinion, the very basic, in my opinion, there's more chance that you jump from junior to senior to lead.
Yeah.
Or, I would say not quickly, but if you need to address some error to someone, it's easier if you know anatomy and you say, oh, you fucked up this part, and actually how to you can say to the guy exactly what's wrong, and not just like, oh, it's because it happened to me several times now, because I like it this way, which is not a fucking answer. It's just my word against your word,
Yeah.
If you say to me, oh, this in reality doesn't work because this and that, oh, shit. So, what I did, maybe it's just because I wasn't talented enough, so I started to do 3D art. Then at a certain point I stopped doing 3D art because I was like, okay, I missed something. Then I dropped my Wacom. I dropped ZBrush for about a year and a half, and I just focused myself on artistic skill, basic artistic skills. So I started to draw again. Actually, one of the things that opened my mind was the life drawing with nude models.
Mm-hmm.
If you're learning anatomy, it's one of the things that, oh, so it works that way.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Just start from the basic.
what?
Just start from the basic.
In my yes, because I'm pretty sure that somehow you will face it
Yeah.
during your artistic career, and you will say maybe I should learn about this thing more about I don't know composition, about lighting, about how light works and how I don't know anatomy works and stuff like this. Because when you study anatomy, you learn how a body, something which is so complex and
Yes.
works in harmony. It's like more like when you do something, it's like you're following, I would say, a scheme, something that works in reality. So even if it's a creature, for example, or it's a robot,
Mm-hmm.
you think about anatomy and how things are really, every muscle match other muscles, and everything you do, it's like it works better in my opinion. It's like you have a better mindset about constructing stuff from scratch, from nothing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's clear.
No, no, I think it's pretty clear. I think also that there is this kind of general behavior where young artists, of course and naturally, are really focused on the wow factor, the be cool factor, that that's something they skip a sort of natural path in trying to become first a better artist in terms of knowledge and in terms of doing the proper stuff, and they just go on the next level. And sometimes it works because there is some young artist which is, I don't know, really really gifted, and it combines the cool factor really really soon, and he or she basically develop the skills alongside this cool factor.
Yes.
But for the rest of us, it's really hard to combine and being cool and good at the same time. I will not do
Exactly.
I will not do any example of artists, but I see that there is some really potentially good artists that it's just only wow. But when you stay 5 minutes on the piece, you just discover, this arm is really strange. Oh, this
Yes.
perspective,
Yes.
it's too much fake, and stuff like that. But I will skip any kind of example.
Yeah, no, no, no. I think that you were trying to trigger me. No, no. Let's say that, yeah, you're totally right. The point is that I know that it's okay. I mean, people struggle with, I don't know, ZBrush and Maya, and say, oh, I want to be a character artist, I want to be a prop artist, but learning ZBrush, it's very difficult. And in my mind, it's like, it's not the ZBrush to be difficult. It's learning anatomy and composition, which is
Yeah.
difficult in my opinion. I mean, most of the time, young people is focused on the technical aspect,
Yes.
which is the last part. I mean, it's important, of course, but for example,
But do you think that this technical aspect is becoming more important because of the social media? So basically, you open ArtStation and you see stuff from professionists, and of course, they are both technical and correct. But
yes,
the final result is what the young people desire to reach. So probably, I believe that part of the reason why when you are really young you start to do skipping the normal process, it's because you
that's the
see,
point. Yes, that's
yeah,
the point.
yeah, you see the
That's
final
totally
piece
point.
of someone working on 20 years, and you think this is the normal way, this is the only way to do stuff.
so now, if you want to become a character artist, you need to learn at least 10 different softwares.
Yeah.
At least, excluding the engines, because yeah, I mean, could be Unreal or Unity, or it could be a proprietary engine, which is even more tricky. But the point is that tools nowadays are, in my opinion, are becoming very, very artist friendly. Yeah, people say, oh, the ZBrush UI is shit. Yeah, man, but maybe when you started, 20 years ago with 3D Studio Max 5 or Maya.
And a mouse.
And a mouse, a fucking mouse. You know, I mean, and I really admire people that 20 years ago used to do very stunning art, CG art pieces, because back then was literally, oh, I push a button and I wait 20 hours for a a render, which is not even final, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now we're reaching a point where, real-time rendering it's like VFX rendering. So you could have a real-time piece which kind of match the quality of an offline render piece.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm seeing great stuff. I mean, you saw the Unreal Engine 5 capability.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah.
It's like, oh my god, we are reaching a point where basically, if you see the last Kingdom Hearts, seems like somehow seems like a Pixar movie in some spot.
Yeah. I saw that and it was really amazing. And also the Abe new chapter is in that way.
Yes, exactly. And Ratchet and Clank, it's
Ratchet
the
and
new
Clank.
Ratchet and Clank. It's oh my god. So the real point is, I think in the future, what could make the difference is again, my favorite artists are not artists that provide full pieces, like
Give us some example.
I don't know, Giuseppe Pericles.
Ah,
He
yeah.
just
I love.
does anatomy, but it's like my teacher when I was studying painting a few years ago said to me, maybe you can learn about an artist more if you see his sketches, not his final piece.
Yeah, I agree.
And so when I see that someone from a block, a sphere, or whatever, takes out forms that are so natural, so well made, so personal, because you can recognize the guy.
Yes.
And to me, it's more fascinating than have this super final piece with all the lighting and stuff. Well, of course, the presentation is always important. It's surely important if you want to get a job. But when you reach a point like Pericles or Scott Keaton or I don't know any other anatomy masters, and then they just do something in ZBrush and they just do a screen grab without even do a proper render, and you say, okay, I'm done. I don't want to be an artist anymore. Yeah, it happens all the time. Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, I truly agree with that because it's something that sometimes I think that this field is not for everyone. Not because just the competition, but also it's the kind of power of will that you have to keep yourself updated, to keep yourself motivated. So I think you first, some minutes ago, you say that a lot of people during the process basically step out. And I think it's the kind of selection that can determine who will become a professional artist and who just have the will to do stuff
Yeah,
for the
sure.
sake of
Yes.
it. Because I think that professionalism and being an artist are two different worlds.
Exactly. Yes. 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 Yeah. Even during the yesterday's live, I was like, yeah, I won't call myself an artist. I'm kind of more a craftsman or
Yeah.
something, an artisan, not a real artist, because of course we need to say that the meaning of art changed a lot during the years,
Yes.
and of course it's one of the things that follow the human evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, again, yeah, when they ask me what's your job, I'm a 3D artist. Okay, yeah, but I'm not an artist. I'm not. Of course, when I do personal stuff, I try to express myself and stuff like this. But during your workday, you're just at someone that needs to provide
Yeah,
good stuff.
that's the key, I think. You need at the end of the day to deliver some stuff. You don't have the
Exactly.
time to enjoy every single minute of your
No,
job.
no, no,
Mo-
no, no. There are some parts that I would love to skip about my job, but I can't. So it's okay. It's okay. That's one of the. It's one of the. As you said, it's becoming a professional.
You know, and I
So,
truly appreciate this talk because with this podcast, I don't have the ambition to become like a Twitcher or someone famous on the internet. I just want to provide to the people that it's not everything magic and shining.
no,
It's a
no,
job.
no at all, no at all.
Animation is a job, video game is a job, and as for everything, you need to
Yes,
uh, you need to do stuff, and you need to become
exactly,
someone that can provide this stuff more
exactly.
than you can be always someone that express himself or herself with this stuff.
Yeah. That's why again you need to see the anatomy learning or the composition, the lighting learning a part of your basic knowledge to
Yeah.
become to have a job.
Yeah.
Basically, that's it. It's because people when you talk about art, they just they think about something. Today I woke up and I want to do this, or yeah, I want to that people knows what's inside me, which is truly amazing. I mean, it's what art does. But when you work for someone that pays for your art, it becomes tricky. This part becomes really tricky, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
you need to stick with the rules, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
exactly. That's what I think also. And let's move to the other question. Um, video games. Okay, video games for both of us are a sort of passion, as we said. It's basically it was the sparks that
Yes.
that basically put the fire on our career, I will say. And what I want to ask you is, can you tell us your love story with video games, your origins? You also mentioned before that you started with fell in love with Street Fighter 2, but
Yes.
what was next? When you discover Street Fighter 2, what was the next?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Let's say that before being a game artist, I was like everybody, every child in this world wants to be an astronaut or something, a doctor, and I wanted to become an archaeologist.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very great passion about ancient people or even dinosaurs and stuff like this. But for some reason, and I used to have a Commodore 64 back then, but to me it was just another toy.
Yeah.
But saw the characters of Street Fighter 2, and that for the time was like, oh my god, they were giant character, well animated, full of colors, and I was like, oh my god, I want to do this in my life. I don't want to do anything else. I don't give a shit. And let's say, as I said, I started to draw, and I started to even to write stories, because to me, even now, being part of this industry is like, yeah, maybe one day I would love to scream my tale, to scream, to tell other people what's my tale, what's inside my head.
Yeah.
I just want to tell people my story, and I truly hope that one day somehow I will have the chance to do it, but for the moment I'm just a simple character artist. Let's say that I spent my entire, when I was really young, in the arcades, because as you said before, was the only good way to enjoy really good video games.
Yeah.
But as soon as the home console became really, really powerful enough to provide really good story, like, some of the good RPGs on Super Nintendo or Saturn or PlayStation 1. And in fact, when I saw maybe the game that pushed me really hard to say, oh my god, you can do this with video games, was, Metal Gear Solid. Even though it's not my favorite game, I need to admit.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
But Metal Gear Solid was like, my god. I was 12, 11, 12, I don't remember, and I literally had a punch in the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like, of course there were games that had political stories and very adult and dark stories, but Metal Gear Solid was the perfect combination of everything, in my opinion. The dialogues, the characters, the story, the plot twist, and the ninja. And I don't know. Everything was so great about the game, and still it is. From time to time I like to play it, and I think it's still a very good game, very polished game, very smooth.
I also believe that in general the Konami graphics quite didn't age, because it's so polished and it's so defined that even in the beginning it's really it resists. You can still enjoy Metal Gear or even the old Pro Evolution games, just to do some.
Sure.
While you cannot enjoy as well other games, even that now are more evolved, like for example the Electronic Arts games. The first titles didn't age well like the Konami were.
I totally agree. Mentioning the subject, I think that you're speaking with the wrong guy, because I just play Japanese games for some reason, for that kind of reason actually. But yeah, other games like, for example, the first Resident Evil
Yeah.
didn't age quite well, mostly because of the controls, the tank controls. But on the other hand, for example, Silent Hill, the first Silent Hill, I think it's way more enjoyable than the Resident Evil games on PlayStation 1 era.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I don't know, from that moment when I discovered Metal Gear Solid, to me, I was already focused on, I want to become an artist and work in the entertainment industry. But the Kojima masterpiece pushed me to say, okay, I need to do this. I need to
Yes.
to provide such a good piece of art, because to me it's a piece of art.
Yeah.
And of course, when I saw the Yoshikawa sketches, was what's going on there? To me, it was like uh, I don't know, a quantum leap forward in the game industry. It was like something that was really ahead of its time, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like in the music. Sometimes you have people or bands coming literally from the
Exactly.
future.
Yes. Yes. I would say that, like, I don't know, Evangelion for anime, or Jimi Hendrix or Nirvana for, music, the music industry.
Yeah. It's a game changer sometimes that happens.
Exactly. Yes. The let's say that the game storytelling never changed forever after Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
He was one of the first one that broke the fourth wall, in my opinion.
Yeah, with the Psychomantis
Oh
trick.
my god, I have goosebumps, man.
Yeah, no, it at the time was the 98.
Yes, 98, yes.
I think people just freak out when for the first time a console was telling you to remove your controller in order to
I
don't
mean,
be mind
yeah,
controlled.
it was something different. That game was something different, truly different. Which was, a good thing and a bad thing, because people started to be really hyped about every Kojima game.
Yeah.
That's why, sometimes I see people hating him because not doing stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot do always masterpiece. It's, I think, in every kind of field, an artist cannot provide every single piece as a
No, man,
masterpiece.
no, it's impossible.
It's just natural.
No, it's impossible.
Also, because in the video games, you are not alone. So
Exactly, yes.
you are working with a team, and the team sometimes it's well mixed, or sometimes you have people that are not cooperating so good. So
Yes.
you cannot pretend from a single man just because he built his name in the industry. You cannot pretend that every single game it's always at the same level. Just because it's
No.
not only him doing the game.
Exactly. And not to mention the fact that he's just a man.
Yeah.
And he's aging, and maybe he changes his mind about some subjects. So,
Yeah. Also.
I mean, if you want to play something like the first Metal Gear Solid, play the fucking first Metal Gear Solid. I mean, it's there. It's cheap. You can pretty much play it everywhere. Yeah. Sometimes it seems like that people, the fan base, has nothing to play. Like, I saw all the haters, all the hate against the delay of Cyberpunk.
Ah, yeah.
And to me seems like, man, I think that we live in the golden era of video games, where you can play everything you want, wherever you want, on, basically every console, every system, even your cell phone, even your PC, and you pay a game 1 or 2 euros, which
Yeah.
was kinda, to me, was impossible even 15, 20 years ago. I mean, yeah, they delayed the game, so what's your problem?
Yeah, don't to mention also that we are living in a pandemic.
I don't know, yeah, man, yeah. I think it's better not to touch that subject. I get angry, and, you know me.
Yeah, no.
People.
I will try to control you as Psychomantis.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
let's move to the next question. That it's basically already introduced by the previous one. Um, Video games are still facing difficulties to be recognized as art, as the same of a great movie or a great book. And what I want to ask you is, I believe that you recognize them as art, as you already say.
Yes.
But if you should convince me, I am a person who don't believe this. I think that video games are just games for kids. So what you will say to me, apart from fuck you, what you will, what you will say to me to convince me that in fact video
Yes.
games are art?
Let's say that this is a very delicate question.
Yeah.
I think it's a matter of perspective, because people think about, when people think about art, think about, I don't know, I would say, let's say the Renaissance.
Yes.
Oh, it's commonly, we are commonly agree that this is the art, or the truly art, the beauty. But when you study and dig deep into the art, and you discover things like, oh, that Michelangelo was kind of forced to do the Capella Sistina and
Yeah.
didn't want to do that, and you know that all the people that back then was mostly people from church that wanted to have their church, beauty, to be powerful, because it was a power shit actually. The most beautiful is my church. The more powerful I look like.
Yes.
So every priest or I don't know, even the popes, when I say to an artist, when they say to an artist, oh, I want this, and you need to use this color, and I want this composition, and there was this and that, and you had to do it, otherwise your piece of work were trashed or refused or whatever. It's like, yeah, back then was art, but was also a craftsmanship, was something that needs to basically decorate a church. And you still think that, knowing that Metal Gear Solid is not art, or The Last of Us is not art,
Yeah.
Being aware of certain stuff it becomes tricky to define what's art and what's not.
Yeah.
Of course, people are less, I would say, they don't want to see video games as art for some reason that I'm not there to discuss, because, but it's, the point is, it's because you need to, buy a video game, so people think that art is kind of something which is free for some reason, because of course you can go to every city in Italy and see, I don't know, an old church or a statue on a square for free. I don't know. It's a very large question. I would say that we have movies that just entertain you.
Yeah.
We have books that just entertain you, and we have movies that are a truly piece of art. I think that the main problem is that there's this misunderstanding about what's the source of power of video games, and people think that Metal Gear Solid is a piece of art because it's a good story. No. Yeah, Kojima stole a lot of stuff from the movies industry, but it's like you appreciate Shining or every, what's called the movie director? Oh my god.
Kubrick.
Kubrick, yes. Sorry. You don't appreciate Kubrick because
Yeah.
the use of photography, the dialogues, not the story. And it's the same thing for the video games. You appreciate some games and you say, oh, this is a fucking piece of art when you are playing with the controller in your hands, and somehow the game wants to tell you something playing.
Mm-hmm.
Using the interaction, like you mentioned before, the put your control in the second player slot. Or the fact that for the first time a character in a video game started to speak directly to the player and not with other NPCs or other characters into the video games. This is a good use of the video game as art, as a piece of art, as something that you, I don't know, in 2,000 years, someone from the future will discover Metal Gear Solid and will say, oh, this is very good, man.
Yeah.
This is interesting. It wants to tell me something. It's not just about, because for some reason, I think it's mainly because of the bad advertising from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
About video games. Oh, it looks like a movie. People started to to say, oh, it's good because looks like a movie.
Yes.
It's the same thing that people appreciate, for example, Caravaggio, because it looks real, but the power behind the Caravaggio's artwork is not looks real. It's really something else.
Yeah, no. And I also think that sometimes the beauty, the objective beauty, it's always easy for the general people to associate the beauty with something valuable. For example, maybe 15 years old will not appreciate, in general speaking, because I believe there is someone, but he will not appreciate something like Journey or an indie game like Limbo, just because it's not the same as The Last of Us, for example. While The Last of Us could be appreciated more, even from general public, because it's realistic. So you see, oh, it looks, as you said, it looks real. The blood looks real, the shadows and the lights and everything. So when you see a product with a realistic approach, you will always have that kind of general public appreciating a bit more than product that looks like made for kids.
Yeah.
Even if it's the opposite, even if it's maybe Shadow of the Colossus or Journey, it's nothing at all a product meant for kids. It's something else. But
Oh no.
but you need to you need to play it to discover it, because on the surface you see, for example, a bright palette, simple graphics. So you associate like, oh, it's like I don't know, something that a kids will play.
Maybe, yeah. But for some reason, maybe a kid or a young adult could appreciate more, or could not appreciate, but understand more The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Rather than Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
Because in The Last of Us, the message is always clear. It's there. You can you see the message. Shadow of the Colossus, you need to dig a little deeper, maybe.
Yeah.
And when people ask me, what's the game that you would carry with you if you want to travel the future? And again, it's not my favorite game, but I would carry with me Shadow of the Colossus, because it's the perfect example of what a gameplay could tell.
Yeah.
Just, the storytelling that only with the interaction you
Yeah.
and it's truly amazing, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
That's the power
And
of video games.
yeah. And the next question is, this is a little bit tough. So, what's your opinion in the recent sexual scandals in video games industry, and how think how thing can really change in your opinion from now on? What do you what do you wish for the future that can be improved and changed?
Well, actually, this is that I could tell you. I mean, I could answer you with a simple question.
Yeah.
A simple answer, very simple. Uh, I think. No, I'm trying to, to be kind of polite because I read a lot of stuff, lot of stuff,
Yeah.
very bad stuff, especially comments, replying under magazine article, online magazine article, and stuff like this. And the point is that the man has the power to treat bad women and himself at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We are kind of doesn't recognize it as a man.
Yeah.
So of course, if someone does something bad to a woman or another man, of course it's not your fault directly because you were not there, of course, but it is your fault because we were born in a society and we embraced the all the bias, the behaviors, all the shit from this society, which is we can say whatever we want, but it's a man. It's a society built by a man for men, other men. So yeah, we can have women in the industry, but they don't have our chance to become leads or become to basically have a management position.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm thinking about the game industry because, for example, the animation industry is slightly different. The games are something in the common sense for men, just for men, and not for women. So
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Yes. So what we could do to change it? We could do a lot of stuff. We could become allies to all women, non-binary people. And if you see something which is we don't like it, we should scream. We should say, "Oh, what the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
Because that's what happened in the large companies, that you don't want to lose your job. So if you see something that maybe it's not really nice, maybe you shut your mouth because you're afraid that someone could fire you or
Yeah.
say something bad to you. And it's not working. It's not working anymore. And actually, I don't know how to translate the word. Let me Google for it. Sorry. I mean, I don't know if we have. I mean, no, it's the same patriarchate.
Okay.
Okay, it's the patriarchate. It's the things that we should try to eradicate from this society.
Yeah.
Because it's not bad not only for women, because of course patriarchate, but even for men, because there's always a man that have the man. If you cry, you're not a man. If you appreciate another guy, you're not a man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are you a faggot? Come on. Yeah, yeah, I mean, we went to the moon and we're still fighting with this kind of bullshit. Come on.
We are still fighting with people that don't believe it that we went to the moon. So
Man, that's why I was trying to be polite and try to find the right word because otherwise that would be even worse than this.
no, okay. I think that, as you said, basically what we are seeing at the moment is that constantly and with a sort of rhythm, for example, every 3 months, every 6 months, a woman basically raised a problem. And that's good. But as you said, probably for changing the things, we as men, we should sometimes also raise the voice instead of waiting that a woman doing the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, but you man, the point is that, okay, as I said, you're not directly involved in a rape, yeah, of course. But if someone posted an article about, this women artist, say that she was sexually harassed or, treated bad or stuff like this, and uh, under the comment section you write something like, oh, maybe you just want some attention, or we don't have the proof. Man, come on, man. Are you not? Are you stupid? I mean, if we don't have any proof,
Yeah.
the point is that maybe on the comment section there's another girl was treated bad, I don't know, by his partner or family or whatever.
Yeah.
And if she read this kind of comments, she's kind of, I would say forced, but not forced, but she will hide the shit forever, because she will say, okay, they will never believe me.
Yes.
They don't believe a very famous women artist. Why they should believe me, which I'm no one.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's the fucking point.
Yes.
And it's sorry, but it's our fault.
No, no. I get your point. I get your point. It's the same in a certain way. It's the same with the topic about the Black Lives Matters movements. I mean, of course, it's not my fault personally if someone 300 years ago was taking slavery of black people, but I can understand that me as a black man, as a white man, I'm living with privilege and starting to admit even this little truth, it can slowly change the things. And
Exactly.
stop complain about yeah, but all lives matter. Yes, fucking idiot, of course. But just because people, you are telling that all lives matter, why it's so hard to say that black lives matter? So
But that's the point, man. I mean, when people say no, all lives matter, yeah, of course, all the forest matters, but if the rainforest is burning,
yeah, yeah,
you want to stop that fire, to burn everything to the ground,
yeah, yeah,
because the rainforest is burning.
yeah, no, of course.
All lives matter. The fuck.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree, because if for example a city is eaten by an earthquake and there is the phone number to sustain and to help the people eaten by the earthquake, this doesn't mean that the other city in the history eaten by earthquakes are not caring anymore, are not valuable anymore. But in that specific moment, we need to help that city in particular, and then we will move to the others when the problem will come. Yeah.
The point is that People that act like that, they just want to take the responsibility of what's going on. That's the point. That's my point.
Yeah.
Because if you don't feel sorry for that kind of shit, and you say, yeah, but all lives matter, you're saying me the opposite. That to you, no lives matter.
Yeah.
Your shit about anything.
Yeah. Only your perspective matter, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that we have some replies from Supa EG. Very good point. She said on the comment section, the problem is definitely the numbers. If we would have more female managers, the thing will be different. I totally fucking agree.
Yeah.
I totally fucking agree. And that's, I told you, it's more a video game problem at the moment. Because from my experience in the animation, it's slightly different. It's more common to find good in the really high role position. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. One of the problem is that every time there is an issue in the society and people starting talk about it, most of the other people are talking about the whole kind of issue you can have and try to basically kind of feel like, okay, but that problem is not the only one.
Some bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
And in this way, no problem will ever solved. Because you are always saying that, yeah, but it's not the only problem. Yeah, but it's not the only problem. And you will basically solve anything.
It's a fucking bullshit, man. The point is that, again, I don't want to involve politics in this stream because I don't know if is it your goal at the very end.
If you feel that you have to do example, do it. I mean, I don't really care.
It's the same thing when people say, "Oh, we don't want immigrants."
Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to see your point. You don't want immigrants, yes. But the point is that you don't want people, but you want the product that these people are,
Yeah.
manufacturing in a very poor country.
Yeah.
So it's not my fault, but it's my fault.
Yeah. I can.
Are arguing, about not having immigrants while, sending the reply on Facebook with their Chinese cell phone or the latest iPhone or something, which is totally, it's a bullshit. It's a, you don't
Yeah.
also,
It's like when the people complain about the money given to the space research, and they don't know that they are able to send this angry with the satellite up in the sky. So it's
sure. Yeah, the earth is flat, sure. Man.
okay. I think we talked quite properly about this. Of course, the meant of this talking it's not to solve problem, but just to give opinions and maybe new point of view for the people are listening.
The
So
point is that sometimes we misunderstand the word opinion because seems like we are not arguing about I like chocolate, you like vanilla, and you have no rights to change my taste,
yeah,
But if you want to have an opinion about a larger subject, which is not just involving your person, but other people and politics and any other stuff, you need to be aware of what you're talking about. Otherwise, you cannot have an opinion. It's like people that wants to argue with I don't know doctors about vaccination or I don't know cancer or something. Yeah, I mean it's okay to have doubts about if you don't have enough knowledge about the subject, please shut up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, there is some arguments that not everyone is entitled to step in my opinion.
No.
I mean, there is this kind of sick idea that democracy meant that mean that my opinion has the same value as yours, but this depends what we are talking about. I mean, if you are a doctor and you are talking about brain and I am a plumber, it's not the same. Even if I read 10,000 articles, I mean, my opinion as a plumber will be not even close to the value of your is if you are a doctor. So yeah, and we are living in interesting time.
I always say that it's okay to adopt. It's okay to okay, you think or you read something about vaccines. Okay, I understand. I want to understand your point. So go do your research. Go ask to real doctors maybe, and not just the internet or they don't tell us.org. This kind of shady website. It's like, and people always try to find the, I would say, right source of information. So they choose this kind of shady website because this website they just say, oh, you're right. What you think it's right.
This kind of people always try to make their points. You will never have an anti-vax taking a serious website as a proof, because there is no serious website that are anti-vax. So that's it's like believing in the 9/11 or whatever. You never have a sort of good source or valuable source of something which is really shady, or it's really out of the world in terms of opinion.
Yeah, sure, yeah. It's a tricky matter in my opinion, but somehow it's kind of easy to solve if you want to solve it, because of course if you just want to say, if you want to scream in my face that you're right, okay, I give up. I don't give a shit. Maybe
Yeah.
Don't vaccinate your children, but stay away from me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, I will say we can move on the next question.
Yeah.
Which is coming back to the topic a bit more. So we talked about anatomy, and we established that is a big fundamentals you have to master to become a modeler, a designer. But let's focus on modeling. Would you be able to give some good advices or exercises to let the anatomy be less difficult to reach, or maybe to be less scary about anatomy?
Yes. It's a very, very good question. My recommend is, let's say that there is no easy path ever, because I mean, if you want to become a doctor, you need to study. There's no trick or magic.
Yeah.
And I think with art in general, it's the same. So the more you practice, the more you study, the better you become. It's like, of course, it's not automatic, but kinda. For anatomy in particular, I would say use the ancient Roman way to see stuff.
Okay.
There's this thing. The ancient Roman used to say. I think it's I don't know in Latin how it sounds, but it's divide et impera.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much that.
It's the same. Yeah, it's basically means chop everything in small pieces.
Yeah.
And then master.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point. So, but there are some stuff that you cannot run away of. Like, when people approaching anatomy, they start right away with muscles. But I would say that muscles are like just 50, maybe 60% of, what really built a human form.
Mm-hmm.
You start with the bones. You start with all the names of the bones, because the point is that I have to learn all these names. It's very difficult. Yes, it is. But if you start from the fact that all the muscle starts from a bone and insect it to another bone, which means that they use maybe half the name of a bone and half the name of another bone.
Yeah.
Like the very famous sternocleidomastoideus.
Mm-hmm.
When you learn about the skeleton, that okay, at the base of the cranium we have the what's called? I don't know how to translate in English. I don't know if there's.
Say in Italian, it's the same.
It's the mastoid apophysis, which is this tiny, piece of bone,
Mm-hmm.
which is used to the muscle to attach to it, And then you have the clavicle, and then you have the sternum. It's kind of automatic that you remember that it's sternocleidomastoideum.
Yeah.
You learn how to approach the bones. You learn what the muscle does, and then having the name is really easy. Of course, it doesn't work for all the bones and the muscles. But if you say, okay, this week, or even I don't know, for the next 2 weeks, I just study the forearm, which is, in my opinion, one of the hardest part, because there's a lot of torsions and a lot of movement. So the muscle change depending on your movement.
Yeah.
You need to spend time on it and learn about the muscles, and at the same time practice like a lot, like do the same thing again and again and again and again. And maybe I always used to say that what's the culture? A culture.
Yeah.
When you say I have a culture on this field, it's not like that you remember all the dates or all the muscles or all I don't know, the name of the king of Rome.
Yeah.
Of course, if you do, if you want to become a teacher or something, you should be aware of this stuff. But the culture is like what remains of what I studied. So maybe you don't remember all the bones and all the muscles, but when you think about I can construct an arm, and you start to think what's underneath. Even if you don't remember all the names and all the tendons and all the shit behind a simply arm, it's like, we have this muscle that comes from here to there, and then we have this other muscle. And we have these tendons. And we have veins. And we have this. So you just need to take your time. Take your time. Maybe what I suggest is to take a good anatomy book.
Yeah.
Maybe more than one, and attend. If you struggle to find something in your city,
Yeah.
you just attend an online course that I can suggest some
Yeah.
which are amazing because, yeah, for example, 2 years ago, once again, even though I was, working and stuff as a professional, as I said, anatomy is one of my favorite matters, if not the you know the matters that the subject that I really I like the most. So I found this anatomy class, online anatomy class
Mm-hmm.
by Dan Crossland, which is the lead character artist in Ninja Theory. It
Okay.
was it was super fun. The guy is super, super supportive. Gives you a lot of, tip and tricks, and also you can ping him directly on Facebook. And if he has time, he's really happy to give you advice on what you're working on.
Cool.
So, yeah, I think that it's it's something that you never stop. You never stop to learn. Every time that I do a piece, it's like I discover something new.
Yes.
Or even if I'm trying to replicate a photo, sometimes it's like, what the fuck is going on underneath? And because of course when you study anatomy, you study something which is this kind of imaginary anatomy,
Yeah.
which is a standard anatomy, but it's not what happens in real life. And of course, if you want to become a creature artist, you need to be aware even of the animal anatomy and try to compare muscles. But it's really, really fascinating in my opinion.
Yeah, no, so basically, the advice is, as you said, to approach step by step. Don't try to master
Yes.
anatomy
No.
in
Right.
in just one piece because it's
No.
really difficult. Yeah, no, it's totally sense.
No. And try different sources. Try to, let's say, try to have an academic and scientific approach.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, for example, a few days ago there was this guy on Discord pinging me because he wants some advice on. He did some anatomy of the back, the scapula stuff, and he was like, yeah, I took this other model as a reference. Was a 2D model. At the first sight, the 3D model was good, was really good piece. But I saw it for 10 seconds and I spotted a really huge mistake about the scapula, and I was like, yeah, you followed some other artist
Mistake.
shit, but yeah, you learned his mistake, so be aware. So that's why I truly suggest to have something like my favorite anatomy book is the Italian Struttura Uomo,
Yeah.
which is very, very, very scientific. And then you have Anatomy for Sculptors, which is really good, a really good book. Also, there's Anatomy for 3D Artists. And I think the 2D part, because there's a 2D part where artists explain the various muscles of the human body, was made by the Italian comic book artist called Laura Braga.
Okay.
She's very good.
I didn't know.
I think it's a very good book. It's not the best, but it has a very good spot about topology. Nobody talks about topology.
Nobody cares about topology.
So this is my 3 books.
Okay.
Struttura Uomo, Anatomy for Sculptors, and Anatomy for 3D Artists.
Cool.
Of course, there are a lot of very, very good anatomy books, but there are artistic.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you're learning how this artist is stylizing something,
yeah, yeah,
basically. Because when you do art, even if it's realistic, you're stylizing because it's your mind that is, it's not real. So there's always a validation. So that's why if you want to learn anatomy at the very beginning, stay away from super artistic books, because otherwise you learn how the art is approaching the anatomy, but you want something which is more neutral, more scientific,
yeah,
more kind of medical.
yeah. No, totally. And yeah, as we said in the beginning, there is a huge difference between doing and learning cool stuff and doing and learning proper stuff. With anatomy, before you start express yourself with shapes and muscles and bones, you need to understand how they work
Yeah,
at their best. And with this in mind, you can also become a really good artist in terms of express yourself.
yeah, sure.
Um,
Yeah, but as you said, yes, I think it's kind of, before you learn how to stylize, it's better to learn how to do basic stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Because otherwise it's like, oh, I want to be a comic book artist, so I learn how to do just Disney stuff. Yeah, okay, it's okay. I don't mind it. But if you want to be recognized as an artist, I think it's like Picasso. I
yeah.
mean, everyone knows Picasso by his cubic works.
Hmm.
But he was a tremendous artist. He used to draw and paint like, Renaissance masters when he was really young. But it did, it's like a path, you know.
Yes.
It's impossible for a kid to start running before even start to standing on your own feet, your own limb,
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah, no, no, I totally agree. Sometimes there is this need to remind people that don't start running, yeah, as you said, before start walking. And there is nothing wrong to do um, a sort of process of learning. One of the reason I think our society is kind of forcing this behavior, again, it's because of the social, because
Yeah,
the
I
teenagers
agree.
now with the socials have basically all of the kind of information and all of the source of a really top quality artists, and of course and naturally they want to emulate them, so they
Yeah,
start at 14 years old or even younger, doing, for example, Cory Loftis' way to do stuff or
yeah.
a mangaka way to do stuff,
Yes, yes.
and they end confined in basically don't understand what Cory Loftis or a mangaka or whoever has learned before became Cory Loftis or whoever.
exactly. Yes, there's always a path, and in my experience, it's really tough if you want to specialize right away in your career.
Yeah,
But it's really hard if you do this. It's really hard to stand out there, because at a certain point you will face problems. I mean, real problems. So I suggest. I truly suggest to solve those problems up front and not when you have a career and you're stuck in
yeah,
something.
yeah,
Because it happened to me actually. That's why I say that I don't want that. You know, people wants. I don't want people make the same mistake I did, because back then there was no information, and have everything. We have a lot of good resources, even free resources. But maybe we should start learning how to use them.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And to move on, in the next one is, what's your favorite video game then, and why? You said a lot. That's not my favorite. That's not my favorite. So.
Let's say that I have during the years that you know I always been a favorite game, but also runners up, and they change every year or so because you play some other stuff or you play against some other stuff and you say, oh my god, this is truly a piece of art. Let's say that the game that I could play it basically every day without being tired is Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Okay.
To me, it's the state of art of the 32-bit era, because the graphics, because the music, because I would say the story, which is really it's not that good, but keeps you, force you to you want to know what's next.
Yeah.
The weapon, the gameplay, it's amazing. And I remember that when I was a child, the first time that I played it, it was like it's a 2D game. It's kind of stylized in a way, of course, but to me, I was afraid. I was scary to walk in the Dracula's castle for some reason. I felt I was in there, and every time that I played, I have the same feelings. Maybe it's just me. It's not because they did an amazing job, which they did, of course. But I don't know. Everything about that game, it's amazing. To me, one of the best features is like it's a very small thing, but to me, the first time that I discovered it, it was like, oh my god, you're Alucard, the son of Dracula, and you entered your father's castle to kill him,
Yeah.
And there are some spots in the game. There are chairs, and if you press up, if you're near one of the chairs, Alucard sits. That means that, oh my god, this simple scene, this simple action,
Yeah.
it's truly amazing in my opinion because it tells you a whole story, tells you that, oh, he's the son of Dracula. He is familiar with the place, he knows the place, and he doesn't give a shit about what's going on because he's a badass.
Yeah.
He can even sit and wait, because
Yeah.
it's more powerful than everything else in the castle. And to me, it was, oh my god.
So yeah, it's basically sometimes the video games are really, or even animation, became really powerful when you have this kind of sub stories told by details instead of script or scenes.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Yes, that's why for that reason in particular, actually, I love more Japan games rather than Western games because we are when we do games, we want to do good cutscenes, and we love to tell story with cutscenes. But for example, I'm playing The Last of Us. The Last of Us, it's super amazing because for the first time, maybe not for the first time because we have The Last of Us Part 1, but in this generation, it's one of the first time that the real main character is not characters.
Yeah.
It's not the cutscene, it's the environment. You can totally see, you can totally imagine And you
Yes.
start imagining, oh, maybe the family used to live there. Oh, maybe they just had to run away and stuff like this. And that's the power of video games.
Yeah.
That's the fucking power of video games. It's not the cutscene. The Last of Us, it's not about the story and the cutscenes. It's the same thing for Metal Gear. Oh, I don't like Metal Gear because Kojima, it's a movie maker and he wants to make movies and he introduce in the video games these very long cutscenes. No, I mean yes, but no, because Kojima started to, to tell you a story, even with this kind of small detail, like when you in the first Metal Gear Solid, you can see small bugs in in the bathroom,
Yeah.
walking down the floor. I was like, oh my god, this place is a dumpsters.
Yeah.
They're treating the hostages really bad, and that's how I think that's the power of video games, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. One of the reason I loved even the first The Last of Us was because of the stratification of the environments.
Exactly.
Because
Yes.
if you pay attention, the key is always how much you as a player participate in the game. I think the key to enjoy video games is that you are doing your part as a gamer. And for example, in The Last of Us, the first, when you go into the city, you always you always see, for example, the different stages that the city encounter during the time, because you have, for example, an office. You enter an office, and you can clearly
Yes.
see the office as it used to be when everything was
Yes.
normal. And you see
Yes.
family pictures, kids drawings, and
Yes.
then you see the shattering and the wasted
Yes.
atmosphere. And then you see also the new use of the office that the people after the contagion made. For
Yes.
example, the office is now like an infirmary, or it's like now a place where they store ammunition. So,
Yes.
and
Yes.
no one is telling you this. It's there for you to see and to understand. And this is like level design at its finest. I believe it's
Yeah, yeah,
something.
sure, man. It's oh my god, it's amazing. And I think that these kind of things you can only do these kind of things with video games. And I think that people should be more aware of this kind of stuff
Yeah,
because, yeah,
yeah.
and I think that Last of Us is it's the best example in that case. Yes, it's truly amazing.
The
I
Last
mean,
of Us and also Red Dead Redemption 2 have all of these
yeah,
little
yeah,
inches of stories. For example, you
yes,
enter a wrecked
yes,
ruins, or you enter a little house in the forest, and you see the composition of the house. Basically tells you who was living there, or
and you mentioned before, which is really really interesting, that nobody wants to talk about. It's when you want to when you have to appreciate a game. It's like you have a, you need to be mentally kind of set for that game to do this kind of stuff to impersonate the character. Otherwise,
yeah,
it doesn't work. I think that the more we grow up, the more we lose that ability to uh, let our minds to literally fly away and become someone else
yes,
to play, because it's the basic of playing. Because I mean, when you were younger as a kid and you started to play something like, I don't know, war, or with little cars, or I don't know,
hide and
you
seek.
yeah you were not Carmen anymore. I was not Salvatore anymore. anymore. I was something else, someone else in a different setting. And I think that a lot of games that we don't appreciate infuse this kind of mindset, which is really hard to. It's like, we don't have to lose the child inside ourselves.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think if you want to, sometimes this industry kills the child inside you, because of course, if you join this industry, it's because you want to abuse people, you want to, make them cry as you cried. But of course, it's not always the case. It's like sometimes it's the opposite. They kill you because when you see a video game now, it happens to me all the time. You start to see the technical aspect. How do they use camera? How do they do this and that? But if we let us, relax and enjoy what we are doing, maybe the industry in general, the journalists, even the people that plays will be less toxic and maybe more like, oh.
Yeah, no, I think also part of the problem is that journalism, it's really focused on the technical aspect. I remember reading PSM or reading some old uh, paper magazine that basically even the journalists were excited of something coming up.
Yeah, it seems like that we lost the excitement.
Yeah.
And now we can basically work through, photorealistic and very, very good looking levels and realistic characters. So that's why, in my humble opinion, the best game that I played in this generation is Nier Automata.
Mm-hmm.
Because Nier Automata is technically it's pure trash, let's say that. But in terms of how Yoko Taro uses gameplay factor,
Yeah.
and how Yoko Taro plays with you as a player, it's when I finished Nier Automata, I was like, oh my god, oh my god. And yeah, I think that it's more like indie studios and Japanese studios that wants to do stuff like this. That's why, for example, during the PlayStation 5 presentation,
Yeah.
the game that I appreciated more was Pragmata from Capcom, because it means that a AAA that few years ago struggled to survive, which now is kind of active, making again really good game, right? Like Resident Evil.
Yes.
They found the power, the will, maybe the money, of course, to do something which is more strange. They started to experiment once again, and I think we should thank only one guy for this, and it's again Hideo Kojima, because with Death Stranding, if you like it or not, if you even dislike the game, he did something different, and I think that it's what we need now in the industry. We need something different. We need different content. We need different people. We need diversity in the industry, and of course, this could affect the game themselves.
Yeah.
The gameplay itself, because if you have people with different background and not just again game made by young adults or adult male men to other Western white male men, I think everyone will benefit from that, because it's just a matter of how let's say, do you want to experiment, or you want to stick with the rules and make the same game again and again and again?
Yeah, no, I agree. And
That's my opinion.
I also agree that sometimes we need to understand that different product doesn't mean that you need to enjoy all of them. I
Of
mean,
course,
I mean, I
I say
love.
God.
Really enjoying this period to play the new Call of Duty, which
Yes.
usually it's considered like the kid game. Oh, you don't like Metal Gear, go play Call of Duty. I don't know why people still have this kind of mentality
I
where
don't know. I don't know, man. It's yeah. It's because I think that video games didn't grow up in a way because let's say that I mean I would I would uh, I would say such behavior to you know uh, I mean I don't see this kind of behavior for I don't know people who loves movies or books.
yeah.
It's like and I've never seen someone addressing someone else as a kid because he loves I don't know a books or another or a movie or another. It's because it's pure bullshit, you know. And
Yeah.
it's like people, you just the only play you could play is Fortnite. I mean, what do you have against Fortnite? Personally I don't like it because I don't like multiplayer games in general.
Yeah.
So doesn't mean that Legend of Zelda is better or more important than Fortnite.
Yeah. Also because Fortnite changed the rule of the games.
Of
It's
course.
it's it's like a milestone. If you consider that now advertisement for movies is done in Fortnite,
Exactly. Yes.
it's kind of crazy the power a video game is taking. So
Yes. I totally agree. It's
I played Fortnite for a few months in the beginning when was still the open beta.
okay.
I enjoyed because I like the cartoon style, of course, and there was zombie cartoon, so for me it's okay. I'm totally in. And then I just dropped because I found too much repetitive. But still, I think it's a great game. And if someone is enjoying Fortnite, I don't see why his test or her test should be less than mine that I like, for example.
Exactly. And I think that as PlayStation did in the mid of 90s, you know, back then the Sony president was like, "Oh, I want to, I want to move the console from the kids' room to the dining room to the,
Yeah,
lounge room, because and I want that father and child loves to play together."
yeah,
And it's what Fortnite is doing now. Because I'm seeing a lot of mother and father playing with their child. So for the first time, maybe in the history of video games, we have a real participation of parents, and they are not just using video games as a cheap babysitter,
yeah.
which is a big problem in my opinion.
It's like a cross generation factor.
Yeah, sure, exactly, and I love it. And basically, if we want to be honest, uh, Epic is making a lot of money with Fortnite, so we are literally no one to say, oh, you're doing it wrong or it's a bad game, because if they're doing a lot of money, or everyone else is dumb, and and we are the smartest person alive, which is not the case, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Or your mindset is a little bit off.
exactly. That's what I think. I think that sometimes people tend to um, overrate their taste and their opinion, and sometimes people pretend, not pretend, they put their opinion like in a special place where
Yes,
if I play something like serious, I'm a serious person. If I play something more kiddish, I am a kid. While I think the beauty of video game is that, like the movies or the books, is that you can play at the same times everything that please you without feeling strange. If you like Fortnite, Minecraft, if you like FIFA because I play FIFA. I play everything because I like to play everything.
That's a point. That's a point that is actually doesn't seem like, but it's really connected to the diversity that we were talking before, and the fact that the patriarchate wants you to be a man and play this kind of stuff. It's subtle, but it's there.
Yeah.
And I mean, if someone like Pirandello says uno nessuno e centomila,
Yeah.
means that I'm one, 1,000, 10,000, because I mean, it's of course uh, it's boring to be the same person every day, but the point is that the Salvatore that was talking 1 hour ago with you, maybe it's not the Salvatore that is talking to you right now, because we forget that the only time that the only real time is the present, and we want to control this kind of shit by addressing ourselves and our mind with very specific mindset or very specific behavior. So, in order to be an alpha male, I need to do this, and that.
Yes.
Even if you think the opposite, it's the same. I think that
No. The problem is that people seems don't like to be different people at the same time. It's like they are losing their mind if they can admit to themselves that they both like death metal and Pavarotti.
because they think that it's childish. That's the point, or it's not accepted in the society. That's the point.
For me,
Which is not.
for me it's really something questionable about the behavior, because I think a lot of problem in human minds and in the society as well as a reflection came when people cannot understand that they are not just only one face or
Yes,
only
yes,
one.
yes.
And this goes for sexual preferences, goes for silly choices, for example, what type of music I want to listen, what type of game.
Exactly. The point is that everyone. I mean, it's like the society that forces you to see the things are black or white, but it's not like this. We have a lot of shades
Yeah.
for tasters, for what I want to wear today. Of course, I address every time, the people or the society, but this includes me and
Yeah.
maybe you.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not saying that going outside that specific mindset is easy. No, it took me. I mean, just to realize very very simple stuff took me years of suffering and wasted. Of course, I'm saying it I'm joking, but I wasted a lot of money in psychotherapy because I want to really understand what's going on in my mind.
Yeah.
It's like you need to do. Sometimes you need to do a step forward, and sometimes you need to do a step behind. In my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree, and also, I strongly believe that as a human being, if people can admit to themselves that there is nothing wrong enjoying life in all the different colors, you will have a better life, because you have only one life, and living it by only one rule or only one path, it's the most boring thing you can do with your life.
Exactly.
It's like going in the restaurant and never try all of the dishes, even if you don't pay for them.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
But
No.
as I told you, I used to live this condition for a long time. Now I'm more relaxed and I'm enjoying life slightly better. But to eradicate some bias, some mindset was really hard because uh, you you you're born, you came in this world, and everything is already set. So you can do just two things: follow the rules or find your rules.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's in my humble opinion, they should teach, sorry, in school, and not just like, okay, this is the rule. If you apply the rule well, I give you a straight A, or you know 10. I don't know what's the grades.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's more like, what do you think about this thing? What do you think? How can we improve? You know, your mind, your knowledge. What are you really interested in?
Yeah.
And yeah, because sometimes it's like you live a boring life and you don't realize it. Don't realize it. It's more like, it's not like, oh, if I do this, I'm enjoying my life. It's more like, in order to enjoy life, you need to do this.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
Which is it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me.
No, no, even because everyone is different. So the way you are enjoying life could not be the same as me. And that's the key of being a proper human. I mean,
Exactly.
except the fact that no everyone can enjoy the life the way you do.
No, you can't, because we are different. That's why sometimes I joke about revolution, and I say that we don't need to change the style, the things. We don't need to do a massive revolution. We need to do an inner revolution.
Yeah.
Because if we do an inner revolution, everything will be clear.
Yeah, no,
That's it.
perfectly agree. If you change yourself, you are changing the world as well. Because
Exactly.
just because you live in the world, so changing yourself is changing the world as well.
Exactly.
This live is going too much philosophical. We are basically teaching.
I mean, it's what we discuss usually. That's why maybe.
Yeah, no,
We
perfect.
always end up doing this kind of no, I mean, this is to me what a friendship is at the very end, because yeah, maybe we hang out together because we both like video games, yeah, but at the same time maybe we talk about, if you're really deep in a relationship, you talk about video games 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and
Yeah.
then you start to going around with this kind of philosophical shit.
Yeah, totally. Uh, I think we can. Ooh, it's already 2 hours. I still have a couple of questions. You know what? The other two questions were basically already said. It was like 3 artists and 3 books that having a good impact on you, but you already tell us.
Yes. Yes.
So what I will do now is to leave the chat, the word, and let's see if from the chat there is any question. And we will stay another 10 minutes, 15 minutes, depending the question in the chat. And then we can call the live more than properly done, I think.
Yes, I didn't realize that it was 2 hours long.
Yeah, yeah.
2 hours actually.
Yeah, no, I can see the count here. It's basically 2 hours and 10 minutes, which is really great, even to have not finished the questions.
No, but yeah, I think that we jumped on the subjects a few times, so I think that people already knows.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I was drawing from 2 hours without saving.
Oh no! Good.
Imagine if it crashed during the live.
Oh, very bad word against God. The beginning of, yeah.
No, the gods are with us. It didn't crash.
Ah, the computer gods.
Yeah, the computer. Odin is with me. No, the Nvidia is with me. Uh,
Yeah.
How do you imagine? How do you imagine Nvidia like a goddess or a god?
I imagine like, yes, she needs to be beautiful, like
Okay.
and stunning, and always I don't know. It's like I imagine video like Christina Hendricks from Mad Men.
Okay.
The yeah, like this kind of female. Yeah,
Okay.
always focus on always but very feminine and very proud actually.
Yeah, because Nvidia is really proud. I mean,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
even a bit narcissist and
Yeah. Yes.
changing outfit every 3 seconds.
Yeah. Autoreferential every time saying, "Oh, I did this, I did that."
Yeah.
But actually, it's true. So.
And it's a sort of updating God because you know what? Now I have ray tracing, bitch.
Yes, 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 amazing. Well, actually, we could do this. And I saw a lot of people drawing PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 as a manga, as an
Ah,
anime
yeah.
character. We should do this with media or
With the hard
anything.
drive, with
Yeah.
the drive, the
But
hardware.
I bet that someone did it
Yeah, of course.
already.
I believe in internet. It's such a giant place.
Yeah.
Someone somewhere already did it.
Yeah, sure, for sure. It's a, there's, this is, I don't want to say a little bit racist, but there's always a 5 years old Chinese or Asian guy that fucks you up with everything you do. So,
It's not racist because you are saying that they are so good.
oh my god, yeah, they're good at everything. It's
Yeah.
like, it's not racist, it's like more envy, what I'm feeling now.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I wish I could be Asian.
Yeah, or even the Russians guys on our session, they are
Yes,
amazing.
oh my god, oh my god. I think that the ArtStation is living, now it's more mixed, but there was a time where, only Asian people were picked on ArtStation, then was the Russian people that, was always in trends, then the Brazilian people, that was, oh my god, this is what
Brazilians are really focused, for what I can see, in the modeling. There are a
yes,
lot of
yeah, the
modeler,
modelers, yes, yeah,
and
yeah.
even in Brown Bag, we have a lot of really cool Brazilian artists
Yeah,
in the.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, and then of course we have a lot of Italians in the 2D, which is telling us that we have the potential, but we cannot use them in Italy.
We don't have an industry. That's the point.
Yeah,
It's
so
the same with my video games. Maybe even if the movie industry. I mean, we used to have such good movie director in the past. We used to have the greatest film industry ever. Maybe bigger than Hollywood, and then somehow we fucked up everything.
yeah, the time of the Roman Cinecittà, and
Oh my god, yes.
all the colossal were made in Rome, and
Yes.
all the great Hollywood actors and actresses were basically in Cinecittà for shooting.
Yes, yes. But this proves that we are very good at fucking up things.
Yes, I agree.
Amazing.
Look, seems that no one in the chat has a question. I don't know why, because Probably because we talked of everything that people
Yes, yes.
really, we left the people shocked and
Yeah,
speechless.
yeah, sure. I think that, for example, Super ID, that's a very good point about advices that we give. Like, I
Yeah.
think the school can really help people to get a grasp of the fundamentals, but what really makes you go to the next level is how much effort and passion you put in it afterwards,
Yeah.
and how well you can take the understanding feedback, which is yes. People take feedbacks too personally, in my opinion. If someone gives you a feedback, it's not because hates you, it's because maybe he knows more than you, it's because knows maybe more about the project if you're in a project.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yes, I totally agree. And I agree with the wholeheartedly many jobs ask you make these superstar pieces in your portfolio and don't check the grasp of fundamentals, which is problematic. Yes, fucking yes. That's why I said sometimes when I need to see someone portfolio, if you want to hire someone in the studio, I want to see more sketches and stuff that you do in your free time rather than finished pieces, because maybe finished pieces, you work in a studio and someone take care of the air, someone else take care of the
Yeah.
lighting, someone else, so
And
what's
that
your real deal?
that was when you basically when we met the first time, and I had the opportunity at the time to basically do your interview
Yes.
in the really humble interactive project. Uh, I said to the CEO that was asking me opinion on the people we interviewed, I want this guy because he is really good at drawing anatomy, and I believe that he will be also really good as a modeler. Of course, you already had the model pieces which were telling the same, but the difference between you and the other people I saw was that other people only showed the 3D
Yes.
pieces, and you were showing everything as artists.
Yes.
And
I totally agree. It's something that you need to take. It's like yes, because sometimes it's not like you're a good artist and you can fit this studio because you're a good artist, or because you have a good portfolio. It's a lot of stuff that gives you the job, in
yeah,
my opinion.
yeah. And I also believe that a 3D modeler should be a 360-degree artist, not only focused
Yes.
on doing good stuff as a model, uh,
I
because
I really agree.
this give you the opportunity to see if these artists can solve problems. Be-
Exactly.
because
It's what
let's say we are looking a beautiful portfolio page on ArtStation on someone really good with really beautiful 3D characters,
yes.
but you don't know if the characters are so beautiful just because he followed a reference or he follow
Yes.
or she as well. I'm always talking the masculine because in English I'm a bit lazy compared to the
Yeah.
Italian. Because in
Yeah.
Italian you say qualcuno, you say somebody,
Yes.
and in English I say uno, just one people.
Yeah, I have the same problem.
and
I feel you.
and basically I believe that someone as a 3D modeler that it's also showing you a good range of skills. It's also versatile in problem solving, which in a studio it's pretty much what you have to do every day.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. If you prove that you're an artist before being actually just a 3D artist, I think it's a huge plus, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I believe it too.
because as you said, it's more open to solve problems, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's also like in the 2D, for example, what we are looking for when we see a portfolio is someone that it's able to do characters, environments, and props. And unless you are working on a really big studio where the roles can be a little more specific. But in general, what our directors wants to the artist is the ability to create a world more than create a single character.
Yes,
Because usually that specific role is with the veterans, like the visual development artists are more focused because they are trusted, because they have years of experience. So what I believe in that case, 2D and 3D artists, especially if they are young, they should be able to show a bit more variety in their portfolio. Not in terms of style. I mean, you don't have to show that you can do a character from The Last of Us, a character from Crash Bandicoot. I mean, you can have a focus in the area you want to express yourself, but
yeah,
at least a variety in terms of I can do a fantasy character, I can do a cyberpunk character,
yes. Of
something that
course, this is more like, I mean, if you want to work on The Witcher,
yeah,
maybe it's okay to focus on, fantasy character,
yeah,
because it's like what they want. But we are talking about a very huge studio with very, you need to be specialized,
yeah,
But if you're going in a small studio, it's more like what this artist, what this guy or this girl, as a human being, can add to the project, to the the vision of the studio, because
yeah,
this is what we are talking about.
yeah. And I also bet that CD Projekt Red, when they did the first The Witcher, they were smaller, so the artists had to face basically every part of the production.
Yes, yes,
So
yes,
a
yes.
modeler from 3D Project 15 years ago is not the same as a modeler that they are looking today.
Yeah, true.
Well, Salvatore,
Well.
well and nice.
Well, my friend.
I think we basically talked a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed what we said, what we shared with you, enjoyed the live in general, and I want to thank you, Salvatore, to
Thank you for the opportunity, man.
yeah, it's a pleasure, you know it. And I want also to thank you, the guys, for being listener in this live. And as well, you will find this on YouTube as soon as I will upload the file. So the
I
only
will spam it everywhere.
perfect. The only thing I will say is that I will see you in the next video, which could be next week or maybe 2 weeks. I still don't know. I'm reaching
Okay.
the guests. I think it's not a problem for the next week, but in case I will let you know on the socials what's going on with the channel as well. So, without any further wasting of time, I'm salute you and see you next time, guys. Bye.
See you everyone. Ciao Carmine.
Ciao.
Kisses. Mwah, mwah.